Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the chaos that is my life right now. I've got, I don't know, several irons in the fire, I guess. Today we are going to work on this bridge a little bit. I didn't film any of this. This is a horrible intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little bit of wood burning on this bridge that I made for Cub Scouts for crossover. Stay tuned, find out how. Still shitty intro, but it is what it is. Okay, so life has just been chaos the past few weeks. I got a bunch of stuff going on at work. I own a side business, or a business of my own, that has, you hope that, okay, I'm gonna go into a slow spot for a little while because I've got a lot of other stuff going on, and then it's like everybody knows and instantly is like, I need a bunch of stuff done. So I've been doing that. I said in one of my previous videos, the motorcycle blog, the first ride of the year, I've been building, or the boys have been building a bridge to cross over. This is a section of it. I didn't film any of that because I normally don't film a bunch of Boy Scout stuff just because privacy reasons, and I don't know if the other kids want to be on that, but we've been building this bridge. However, progress has been slow because we only meet once every other week or so for a little while, and they mainly use hand tools. We're not allowed to use a lot of power tools, so cutting all of these into just 12 of these steps, and and runners and stringers and things, so drilling holes, it takes a while, but crossover is literally in like 4 days. I still have to get 12 words, which is the Scout Law. There's 12 Scout Laws. 12 words burned onto these steps, and put a finish on the whole thing by Sunday, in hopes that the rain stays away. So let's do that, and while I'm doing that, I'll talk to you guys more about other stuff that's been going on. But essentially, what this bridge is, it's a 3-piece bridge. There's 2 of these 4-piece panels, and then there's a 6-piece panel that sits on top. So it sits on top of one of the slats on each of these little ones. I'll show it to you in the end, but essentially it's made to be like a step up, crossover, and a step down. Kind of like a bridge. We built it with tongue and groove boards, so that if you didn't want it to be a step up and then step down, you could take the longer section, put it into the groove, the tongue on the one side, put it into the groove over here, and same with the last little section, and make just one long bridge. But what I want to do is, there's 12 Scout Laws. So there's 12 individual words that the Scouts use. I want to burn them into this wood, into the steps themselves. So there are 12 laws, we have 14 steps. But like I said, one of each of these on the other side is not going to be seen because the bridge is meant to be over it. So what I'll do is do 1, 2, 3, skip this one, and then on the other one I'll do 1, 2, 3, and skip this one where the bridge would be sitting on top. So to do that, I was talking in my last video about going into town, and there's a guy that does like laser engraving and stuff, and I just haven't had time. I've been running all over. So what I'm going to use is, when I went through buying everything I could find for wood burning, I found these like metal templates for letters. So I'm just going to use these, make the letters, and burn them in myself. Just because it's what I have is allotted for time. So I've got the burner kind of set up over here, and we're going to lay out the first word, which is trustworthy. Kind of what I'm planning is to put them kind of down here, right? So each of these has like a little, each of these plates, you see that? Has like little dovetails on both sides, you know? And they kind of lock into each other. There's an arrow that points to the top, you know, the top of the letter or whatever. And they all kind of lock into each other. So that's kind of my plan, is to do that, you know, lock these together, make the words so that the spacing and everything's the same. And then I'm just going to use the bottom edge of the groove, because it has like a little chamfer here. I'm going to use that as my line because I feel like that's good spacing. And then I'm just going to line up maybe the end of the template here with the screw hole line. I think that would work pretty well. So I'm just going to start setting that up. I'll have to keep an eye on time because I also have to start work soon. It's 9 in the morning, so yeah, I've got like 15 minutes. Probably not a point in heating that up. I will do that after, but I can at least start setting up the words. So this video is going to be a little sporadic today because, you know, we're going to be all over the place, and it's going to be me in and out trying to do this in my spare time when I have time to do it. So, Matt, why didn't you work on this last weekend? Because last weekend we, there's my alarm that work starts soon.
Work starts.
Work starts soon. It's 9 a.m. So, what I was saying is last weekend we did, we were invited to a ropes and rifles, or rifles and ropes. I'm not sure the official name of it, to be honest. But weekend camp out. It's like a early spring camp out with the Boy Scout troop that we're crossing over into. So we went to that and had a blast, man. It was fun. We, Dylan, my son, was able to shoot a .22 rifle. They talk like gun safety and stuff to them. Obviously, they're not just giving them a rifle. You know, there was a full training course and stuff, but they were able to shoot .22 rifle, 12 gauge shotguns, and bow and arrow. And then they did also have, so that was the rifles, right? They also had rock climbing and stuff, which would have been really cool, but unfortunately it rained like all weekend. And on top of that, because it's Michigan and the week before was 80, this weekend was 30 degrees or like 35-ish and rain all weekend. It was just kind of miserable weather-wise. But it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I didn't film much of it because, again, it's a scout event, and I don't know about privacy reasons and stuff, showing other kids in the background and things. So I didn't film a lot. I did film a little bit on my phone, so maybe I'll splice some of that in here and just kind of show you some of that stuff if you want. But it was fun. It was cold. It was a cold weekend for sure. We woke up Sunday morning, and it had rained the night before. I was sitting Saturday night, laying in my sleeping bag, listening to the rain on the Rainfly, and woke up Sunday morning and kind of reached up to tap off some of the rain before I opened my fly and get dumped rain on, and it didn't move. It was frozen. So it was cold, man. But it was a good time. We had a blast, and I look forward to a lot more trips like that. So, all right. So basically what I started doing here is getting these letters together and building it. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop for now because I have to start work. I'm going to stop for now. I got to start work. We'll come back. Okay, we're back. So I've got this guy kind of laid out here. Back and forth today. Clean off our surface. So basically I've lined up these letters with the bottom of this kind of chamfer a little bit. Connected them all so that the spacing is right, and then just put a piece of painter's tape above it to kind of hold it all in place. Got the wood burner warming up. It's already getting warm. So I've got like a pointed, like a fine tip in it here. I think, so I kind of experimented a little bit before this on like some scrap wood, and it's made to, these templates are made to go in with kind of like this rounded tip, and basically it's just to kind of, it rides the inside of this and burns it, and then you can kind of fill it in. So that's what I want to do. I don't want to do like an outline. I want to do an actual filler, but I found that when I did that with it, the edges were a little inconsistent, like when you got real close to it. So even though it's going to take more time, I think what I'm going to do is go over the word once, maybe go over the letters once with this edge, this like more finer point, and then come back with this and fill in the rest. I don't know, that might wind up taking too much time, so I'm going to try it on one of them, and if it doesn't work out too well, then we'll just stick with the bigger tip. But I guess let's get started. It is cold today, of course, you know, it's 80 a week ago, and today it's 30. It's just ridiculous. And of course, like, I'm like, oh, it's 80 and spring's here. It's Michigan, this is great, I can go ride my bike. And then I like put all my heater and everything away for the year, because I should know better by now, but I don't. And I every year put all my stuff away because of the cold weather stuff, and then it gets cold again. But whatever. All right, let's get a little more real estate here where you guys can see this. Hang on. I feel like that you're just going to be seeing my arm. Angle shift. Let's try this angle. So now I can actually get in here and work, and you guys can see. Okay, so first one we're going to do, we're just going to hold this. You know what? Just to make sure it doesn't shift, I'm going to put a piece of tape down at the bottom as well. Might be overkill, but I don't want it to wind up shifting on us. So what I'm going to do is just kind of start at one end and just kind of pull slowly and smoothly to try to keep it consistent. Around. Try to maintain the same speed so that you get the same level of darkness. So I found that I don't know much about wood burning. I'm kind of learning this as I've been doing it. But when you're going with the grain of the wood, the burn seems to be very consistent and smooth, and it takes the burn easier. When you start going across the grain, like against it, like I'm doing now, I feel like the line is, you're like going over the highs and the lows, the ridges, and I sanded this too to be smoother, but it just like, I feel like there's hard spots and soft spots, and it kind of rides over that and doesn't give me a consistent burn like going with the grain does. So I don't know, I'm not a fan of that, but once I fill it all in, it seems to be fine. I don't know that there's a way to remedy that other than kind kind of going over it a little more. But my fear too is if I spend too much time in one spot, that it's going to end up bleeding into, you know, the outside of this template. So I'm very excited about this bridge because it signifies the end of an era kind of thing with these boys. I've led them, you know, as their den leader for the past 5 years, you know, and I've watched them grow and mature and learn and stuff and be more conservation minded in the wilderness. I've tried to instill a lot of that knowledge in them and mindsets. So it's kind of a little bittersweet at the same time because, you know, I've seen these boys grow and they're moving on to, you know, other things where I'll still be there, you know, obviously, but you know, I'm not going to be their leader anymore. So, you know, it makes me very proud where these boys have come, you know, and how far they've come with it. But a little sad at the same time to kind of see this come to an end. I've been getting ready for this crossover ceremony, you know, for a few month or so now, maybe more. And I've been prepping things because I want this to be a very special experience for them. They last year there were some issues with the outgoing den, and they didn't end up getting to see a crossover ceremony. And while my boys have seen a crossover before, the younger boys that had just started that year, they didn't get to see that, you know, and so to them, they don't know what crossover is. And I wanted this crossover to be a really cool experience for them because this is what they're working towards, you know. So I've been putting a lot of effort into it at the expense of, you know, my own personal time and money. But it's worth it to me because, you know, my boys have earned it. You know, they've worked their butts off for 5 years and have had to do a lot, you know, to get to this point. And secondary is, you know, the boys that missed it last year and the boys that are joining this year, and basically all the other dens that are underneath them, the 4 years of scouts that are coming up, you know, I want them to see this and have something to strive for, you know, like I want it to stick with them as, you know, this is what I'm working for and this is a really proud moment and that's so cool and I can't wait to be able to do that one day too, kind of a feeling. So okay, so we're at trust. We're spelling trustworthy, but I only have one T, so I've got to move this over. But I don't want to move it yet because I want to fill that in first. So this is where switching this is going to become a pain in the butt that I don't know that I want to do. So what I'm going to do is this, and then I'm going to do the... Oh no, this doesn't want to come out. Oh no, please don't break this thing. Hang on. Turn this off so I don't electrocute myself. Oh no. This is not good. Doesn't want to come out. It's like it welded itself in there. I don't know if that tip got too hot or what, but it didn't want to come out. I had to force it out. So I might not be able to do this outline. That guy, I can't keep switching tips like that, or this is going to just destroy this thing. I don't know if I've already broken it or not, trying to get that out. I feel like I twisted the whole internals, so hopefully this thing gets hot. If that is the case, if I wound up just breaking this thing, I've got to run out and get another one of these wood burners like fast. All right, she's getting hot now. Let's see if we can fill this in. So basically I'm just kind of coming through just like a marker, kind of just filling in all the areas, trying to make the color consistent. Like I said earlier, going against the grain really showed a lot with doing this, so I found that just trying to go with the grain when filling it in seemed to work a little bit better. So we're going to do that method here. Okay, so we're filled in up to this point. So now what we need to do is remove the T. So we're just going to pull the tape back a little bit, pull the T, and that is basically what the T is going to look like, you know, or the letters will look like when done. So I'm just going to roll that tape back down. The point is trying to keep our line and our spacing and consistency right. So we're just going to move the T over here now. Put a piece of tape here to keep that bottom spacing good. And we're going to do the same. So instead of the outline like we started with, we're just going to fill in at this point because I'm afraid to change the tips. So basically we're going to do the same thing we did with the outline tool, but we're going to do it with the fill tool instead. All right, so that fills in a lot faster, obviously doing it that way too, so that's going to be good. All right, so we've got trust now. So now we just need to keep chugging away at our letters here until we actually have a word we can read. All right, let's keep chugging away. o'clock at night. Been going since 8 o'clock in the morning, but we're done. To start, a scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. So if you're not familiar with scouting, that's the Scout Law. The boys from a young age, they're taught to memorize that. There's an oath as well, but this is the law, the kind of 12 laws of scouting. And that's kind of helped them to guide them through their scouting career and through life. So this is kind of a bridge to cross over, like I said, from Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts. The boys built this. I'm very proud of them for that. So I just kind of helped it out at the end here with the words because we're running out of time. But I'm going to have them come over tomorrow and we're going to put a finish on it. But I can see I've gone through 3 batteries today. And this is probably going to be like a 15-minute video for you. But it has been a full day of filming to try to get all that in for a long, probably super quick montage of me burning in 12 words. But yeah, so that's all for today. If you like this type of content, subscribe down below, give me a thumbs up. Are you in Cub Scouts? Do you know anybody that's in Cub Scouts? What do you use for crossover? To me, crossover should be something really special. These boys have worked their butts off for 5 years to get to this point. And I wanted them to have something special. We're going to give this to the pack when we leave as a parting gift. So the next few generations that go through might cross over on this, or they might decide, hey, we want to build our own too. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. It's a sense of pride for the boys that they're crossing over a bridge that they built themselves. But, some packs, some dens don't have the abilities to do that stuff. So maybe this passes on to them. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, I'll see you on the next one. If this makes it out on Thursday, if you're watching this on Thursday, and the orange juice one was the Monday's video, and it's 10 o'clock at night right now, that means I literally tried to edit this thing in like 3 hours, shower, get everything ready. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not, but I'm gonna try. So, all right, well, anyway.